Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome back to another monthly recap as it is June. It is June now. We have to recap the month of May, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let's jump right into movies. I'm gonna go through my Letterboxd and see what it is I watched this month. I watched quite a lot. Kicking it off for May, the first two things I watched were Mother's Day and the Mother's Day remake, because obviously Mother's Day. So I thought, they were like, okay. I wasn't, I didn't love them, but I had seen the original before, just not the remake. And then I watched Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile. I'm glad the title is right there. I really have just a real bone to pick with whoever came up with that title. I know it's a quote and it's part of the movie, but it's just an awful title. Wasn't so much a fan of that. You can go watch my full review on it to find out why. Not a horrible movie if you haven't seen it yet. It's not horrible, just, I don't know, just to sum it up, like as soon as it was after the docu-series, it was just a little bit boring is all. Then I rewatched Scream because felt like it. It's my favorite movie, so of course I'm gonna rewatch it multiple times. And then I watched The Mummy 1999 because it was the anniversary for the film, and I love that movie. I've talked about it before. It was like the first movie that I can remember that scared the crap out of me. That sounds silly looking back on it now, but back then the CGI was not as bad as it looks today. So and then I watched Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2. I watched a lot on the 8th here. I was watching these two mostly in the background because I was doing some cleaning and rearranging of my room. And I didn't feel like listening to music at the moment, so I put on Creepshow 1 and Creepshow 2 because it was like, I obviously have seen them before multiple times and they're just like nice to have on in the background, although I do get distracted during my favorite segments and I sat down and watched them instead of doing things, but And then I watched The Field Guide to Evil, which I thought was okay. It was a mostly foreign anthology, folklore anthology. It was okay. Next I watched The Convent, which was a Patreon request. So was Field Guide to Evil, but The Convent was as well. That one was definitely a lot of early 2000s cheese, camp, just fun. So if you don't like that sort of thing, I can't recommend this movie because it's completely full of it. I watched Brain Dead or Dead Alive, which I love. And as a little hint to something I may be doing next month, as it is my birthday month, this movie came out in 1992. I've been trying to go through and rewatch a couple of films from the year I was born. For reasons. Next I watched It's Alive from 1974. I got I don't think you can see it on camera. It's right here on the end of the shelf. The 3-disc Blu-ray set. I got it for Christmas I think it was, and I've never seen any of the movies. I just watched the first one. I thought it was all right. I give it like another watch though, because I wasn't in a very good mood when I watched it, so hence why I watched Dead Alive that day, because I needed to be put in a good mood. So I may give it another try, and I still haven't watched either of the sequels yet, so I still need to do that. And then I watched Secrets in the Hot Spring, which is I think it's a Chinese like horror comedy. It's on Netflix if anybody is interested. It's definitely more comedy than horror. But it's like cutesy, funny, I don't know, like I thought it was humorous. Then I watched Death House because I saw it was on Netflix. I think they added it on Netflix. I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it. And I just remember forever ago, like news kept coming out about this movie and it kept getting like delayed and stuff, or it got delayed at least once. And everyone was talking about it because so many horror icons are in the movie and it's just not good. It's a whole lot and none of it's good. Then I watched Final Destination 3. I actually watched this before I ended up being asked to be on Emma's latest That Scene episode. Me and Emma were having like a weird moment where we were having like the same kind of week or something, and yeah, it was on Netflix, and I've obviously seen this movie many times. Other than the first one, it's my favorite Final Destination. So and then she asked me to be on That Scene, so if you haven't watched that yet, you should definitely check it out. Emma is also talking about another iconic Final Destination death, and yeah, I'll link it somewhere up here. Then I watched The Wild Women of Wongo. That was part of Elvira's movie Macabre, which is right here. You probably can't see it that well. I just, again, wasn't in that great of a mood, so I wanted to watch something fun. And whenever, you know, you want to watch something fun, Elvira is the way to go because her commentary always makes me laugh. So that's what I watched. It was, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember that much of the movie, but like I said, a lot of rewatches here. So then I watched Extraordinary Tales, which is an awesome Edgar Allan Poe anthology, and it's all animated, and I love it. And the animation style in every segment is completely different, and it's just awesome. And it's narrated by many horror icons, so I highly recommend if you haven't seen it. I think it's still on Netflix. I personally own the DVD, so that's how I watched it, but it might still be on Netflix. If it is, definitely check it out. And then I rewatched it just because I felt like it. And then I rewatched My Bloody Valentine. Why was I going through all these movies for rewatching? I don't know. I had a not so great month, so I just kind of wanted to watch a lot of old favorites, I suppose, you know? So I watched My Bloody Valentine, the remake in 3D, which I think this one was on Netflix. I think I was just perusing Netflix and it showed up and I just decided to watch it on there instead. You guys know how it is. But I have it. I don't think it's anywhere within my, oh, it is actually. They are. Yep, so sorry. The remake, my copy of the remake, it still had the glasses in them. Let's see, the advertisements, just for some context, the advertisement on the side of the glasses is for Saw 6, which was in theaters everywhere October 23rd of 2009. So. Then I watched American Mary and Freaks because those are the two films we talked about in our last Does This Offend You episode, which will be linked up here somewhere. I'll link the playlist, so if there's any past episodes that you missed and you want to check out, there's a whole playlist for all of them. We've been doing this for a little over a year now, so it's fun. I think that was like definitely one of my favorite. I feel like every episode is like my favorite episode, but this was like really one of my favorite discussions. It was so interesting because that's like, that Freaks is the oldest movie we've talked about so far. Yeah. So it was interesting to compare it to something that's like 80 years, that came out like 80 years after. Then next I watched Detroit Rock City again, just because felt like it. I fucking love that movie. So then I watched The Booth, which I did review. It's a J-horror movie, and it was one of the ones I bought on DVD at Spooky Empire back in March. I watched The Exorcist 3, which was requested of a patron. I did that for a review. And I watched Battle Royale because, again, just wanted to watch an old favorite. Fucking love that movie. That one, hands down, has to be my favorite Japanese horror movie. I don't know if it's my favorite Asian horror movie, if we're talking about all Asian countries, but definitely my favorite horror movie from Japan. If you haven't seen it, remedy that because it's so good. I watched two really old, not really old, but like definitely a little bit older, like I was in like middle school, just entering high school kind of age, movies that I just have a soft spot for, even though they aren't really that good, which is Fear of the Dark and Stay Alive. Those are just ones that I watched a lot because I don't know, there's, you know, just some stretch of time, I guess, where each of these was on TV a lot, and I just ended up like watching it over and over again. Fear of the Dark is just how it sounds. It's about like a boy who is attacked by creatures in the dark and is afraid of them, and his whole family thinks, you know, he just has some sort of like phobia, and his parents go out one night and he's left with his older brother, early 2000s heartthrob Kevin Zegers. And of course a storm hits and the power goes out and they have to battle what's in the dark. And then Stay Alive is a like kind of like video game horror movie. So there's a game called Stay Alive, and the whole premise is if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's not good, but I love it. And then I watched Twister in a kind of like morbid, I don't mean this to be rude, but me and my patrons, we have a ongoing Skype chat where we're all just shooting the shit all the time. And a couple of my patrons do kind of live in the area where they were getting hit by twisters. So to that effect, any of you guys out here who are in those areas, please stay safe. I hope you are okay. But we were talking about these movies, and this was instigated by Ben. I'm gonna call him out. He wanted to watch like Twister and Into the Storm and a whole bunch of like crazy stuff, and he was in one of these areas. So and it made me want to watch Twister, and every time I sit down to watch that movie, I forget how much it scares me. And then I watched Don't Leave Home, which you would have seen my review of last week. Wasn't a huge fan of it. I just thought it was okay. And then I watched Brightburn, which again, you would have seen my review of. And I quite liked that. I enjoyed it. And then lastly, I saw Godzilla from 2014. Because I didn't even realize, it just didn't even click in my brain that this latest Godzilla, which you would have already seen my review for, is meant to be a sequel to this one. So I just rewatched it. I've seen it before, obviously. I just rewatched it to refresh my brain. And the only thing you won't see logged on here is Godzilla King of Monsters, because I'm going to see that later today, so I can't log it yet. I was also gonna watch Kong Skull Island because I guess it's meant to be in the same cinematic universe as these two Godzilla movies. I guess it's all gonna tie into, it's Godzilla versus Kong, or Kong versus Godzilla, that's coming in 2020. But I figured I'll wait to watch that because it's also not that great of a movie. Except for Tom Hiddleston, he's amazing. Moving on to books. Luckily, I only managed to finish one this month, so I won't be talking too long about that, but I read Burnt Offerings by Robert Marasco, which was the book that inspired the movie from 1970 something, I don't remember right now. We read it as part of our creepy book club. I know I talk about it all the time. If you enjoy reading, and you enjoy reading horror stuff, I do have a book club on Goodreads. It's always linked in the description. You can check us out. Oh crap, and I did not bring the book with me. I was gonna talk about our June book. Our June book is Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. If you wanna pick that up and start reading with us. We also just decided all of our books for the last half of 2019, so July through December, and that list is up, so I will link that specific list in the description if you want to see what we're going to read for the rest of the year, if you need some convincing to join us. I won't list them all right now because this video is already long enough, but you can go see that list on Goodreads if you want. All right, so I'm just going to lump everything else into an other category because I haven't been watching, in terms of TV, I haven't been watching, or like music and podcast wise, haven't been listening or watching anything new. So anything I talked about over the past 2 recap videos, I'm still like listening to and watching. So I did want to talk about a website actually that I stumbled upon. I honestly don't even remember where I found this website. I must have been looking up something and one of her articles came up on Google. It's spookylittlehalloween.com, which is the goddamn cutest Halloween website ever. Like seriously, I always talk about how I want to be on like Halloween Happy's level of like Halloween level. Like I love Halloween, but like she's on a whole other level, and Miranda, the creator of Spooky Little Halloween, is also on that whole other level. Like, but I feel like her website is gonna help get me there. Seriously, it's so cute, and she releases regular articles on there all year long. So if you want to be in the Halloween spirit 24/7, 365 days a year, I will link her website in the description. And the creator, Miranda, is like the freaking cutest. Like she also has a Halloween zine, which is delivered electronically. You can sign up for it on her website. Also has a spooky little book club on Facebook. It looks like they read 4 books a year, like one every season, which I'm definitely gonna jump in on. You can never be a part of too many book clubs, you guys. And she also has like multiple Halloween playlists on Spotify for all different sorts of seasons and reasons. All Halloween, of course, but like I honestly like aspire to be on that level of productivity, seriously. So I'll put like, obviously this is not sponsored. I just found her website and her all the things that she does, and just awesome. And I know you guys also really love Halloween, so I thought I would share it with you in case you hadn't known about it. So I will leave all relevant links for Spooky Little Halloween in the description, so please check it out, definitely, especially if you love Halloween. Like, you're gonna love it there, seriously. In terms of favorite comments, what I had initially had written down was literally everything Mother Mayhem has commented this month. Like, seriously, she's been first or very, very close for like every single one of my videos like the past couple weeks, and I freaking love her so much. Like, I'm sure all 2,000 whatever of you know her already. If for some reason you don't, her channel is going to be linked up here and in the description, so please check her out if, you know, like I said, for some reason you don't know who she is. But in summation, she is one of the biggest inspirations for me to start my own channel. So to have her support on my channel, which she helped inspire, I love her so much. Seriously, she is an amazing part of this community, honestly. Anyways, coming next month, like I mentioned before, I've been recording this video for so long, I don't even know if I mentioned it. It is my birthday month. It is June. My birthday is on the 23rd, so we're gonna do a whole bunch of fun birthday, but still horror inspired videos in June. I'll look forward to that. And like I did last year, I am going to do a birthday live stream. It's going to be on Saturday the 22nd, so the day before my birthday, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not gonna do a Q&A like I did last year. I have a couple of other things planned, but it'll still be fun. Maybe to prepare, start thinking about what your favorite horror movies have been since 1992. Little hint there. And maybe brush up on your astrology a bit. And that'll prepare you for the live stream. I'll do a Q&A. It'll be a year since I've done a Q&A, actually. That's what I did last year, but I'll do one later, don't worry. Yeah, so that's really all I can really tease. And of course we have Child's Play coming out that weekend as well. So it's just gonna be a great weekend. We're gonna have Child's Play. I'll have a live stream. There's gonna be a Does This Offend You teaser, I guess. We didn't agree to advertise that, but I just did. Yep, so that's what's coming next month. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's already so long. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can ring that notification bell down there to be notified every time I post a video, even though it doesn't always work. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!
This video is brought to you by all these lovely creepy patron peeps that you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link that is in the description of this video. No pressure, but it's there if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye!